Song, and today I will be reading to you from Everlasting War by Cake. Now, on to Chapter 13, Revenge. France walked down the corridor off to the throne room where she was sure her husband was. She was reading letters from all of her children that were abroad now. Canada, Australia, Hong Kong, South Africa, and America. She read through all but America's letter, finishing up Canada's.
Au moins ils sont tous en bonne santé.
France said, pulling America's letter to the front of the stack, sending Canada's to the back. Immediately she knew something was off. It wasn't America's handwriting, nor any of her kids. Perhaps he is ill, and a Muscovite wrote a letter for him. She opened the envelope and took out the letter. Opening the folded parchment, she began reading, but couldn't get past the first sentence without stopping. Russia, the new Tsar, wrote the letter. Queen Consort, the Republique Française, and the King United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I hope this letter finds you both whilst you are in good health, for only bad news will this letter contain. France picked her dress up around her feet and kicked her heels off to the side of the corridor, beginning to run to the throne room. She passed many confused guards and servants alike as she ran past them with the letters in her hand. She quickly pushed open the doors and ran to her now very shocked husband.
Mon amour, c'est l'Amérique. Laissez-moi vous lire sa lettre.
That roughly translates to, "My love, it's America. Let me read you his letter." "All right, but please sit down, my dearest," he replied, guiding France to her own throne. "Hold my hand." France grabbed his hand and set the letters down, grabbing America's letter again. Queen Consort, the Republic of France, and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. I hope this letter finds you both whilst you are in good health, for only bad news will this letter contain. My dearest mother, Kalmar Union, has passed away from complications due to labor. A mix of stress and being preterm, it was much too much for her to handle as she delivered a new son into this world. In more important matters, Tokugawa Shogunate sent armed attackers after your son. During a speech, the attacker slipped through the guards and was able to stab your son. He is in care of our top medical officials. I do not feel as if I can apologize enough, as it was my duty to keep your son, your crown prince, safe. I am by his side as I write this, and I will write again when there's an update. The attacker is a Tokugawan official who was hired by my own brother, General Soviet Union, to kill your son. I am, at this time, discussing with my younger sister, Princess Estonia, about how to correctly address this situation and what to do about my own brother. Again, I am very sorry for this poor news and the sorrow it will cause you. I will do anything in my power to make sure your son stays alive. If there's anything you'd wish me to do, send me a letter. I do not want anyone of your lineage in my kingdom at this time for fear of your safety. Sincerest apologies. Raskite Federace. The Russian roughly translates to Russian Federation. France looked up at her husband, tears swelling in her eyes. Britain just stood there, staring out a window. "My love," France muttered, trying to get her husband's attention without startling him. "I must ask you to tell Australia what happened. He's not safe in Tokugawa. He needs to be repealed immediately. If there isn't a response by tomorrow night, I will go myself." "Mon amour, that isn't the smartest of ideas. Maybe send a letter to Hung. I'm sure he can help." Britain grabbed his wife's hands and sat in his throne right next to hers. He gently placed his forehead against France's, continuing to hold her hands as tightly as he could without hurting her. France, my dearest, Kiwi, our own daughter, has left to go help fight this war. We are no longer safe. This kingdom is no longer safe. We need to make it safe. For our people, for our children, for America, for us. If one of us doesn't step up to fight, we can't be safe. We would be cowards, sacrificing our children's lives. Our son, the heir, the person our citizens look up to, has nearly died. It's time we take action. The room stayed silent for what felt like hours, the silence only being broken by some sobs that France failed to hold in. She knew Britain was right, but she also knew that if he died, America is king, and he isn't even in the kingdom, nor will he be for a while. So she made the ultimate choice. Sacrifice. One she knew nobody would like.
Vous devez rester en vie pour notre fils, nos enfants. Je vais me battre, je l'ai déjà fait en Occitanie. Vous devez rester à l'intérieur et en sécurité jusqu'à ce que notre fils revienne ici vivant.
That roughly translates to, you must stay alive, for our son, our children. I will fight. I have already done it in Noctania. You have to stay inside and safe until our son comes back here alive. France, darling, Britain started, lifting a hand to place it on her cheek. Our children need you, their mother.
Quel genre de mère suis-je si je ne me bats pas pour laisser mes enfants continuer à vivre et à voir?
France replied, sitting up and pushing herself to her feet. That roughly translates to, what mother am I if I don't fight to let my kids continue to live and have their own children?
Je rencontrerai le Canada sur la ligne de front demain matin. Je pars m'habiller et me préparer.
Je t'aime. That roughly translates to, I will meet Canada at the front lines tomorrow morning. I'm off to go get dressed and ready. I love you. Je t'aime was all Britain could say. He was horrible at arguments, hence why he had Hong Kong as his advisor. Je t'aime. That roughly translates to, I love you. France quickly made her way to her and Britain's room, deciding she had to be rather quick. Most people will tell you if they've never seen a woman wear a uniform, but since the sun hadn't set yet, it would be most people outside of Britannia who haven't seen a woman wear a uniform, especially when a woman's rank is a general. They were all asleep when Huey left, so they couldn't miss their chance now. And that's the end of this chapter. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow.